Hello everybody, I'm Saurabh Chatterjee from SIA Photography, and today I'm back with another review session. So let's get started. So yesterday we did till this part, and today we are going to go further. So I'm going to do as many pictures as possible today. Oh, this is a nice frame, very uh, taken during the golden hour. You got a very dramatic sky. So not possible to get this every day. So you are really lucky to get this, but yeah, I don't really like these frames, and also this is good for an exhibition where you're displaying your pictures, but otherwise I would just have it like this. And also I'd already told you about the watermark, so try to avoid using very distracting watermarks. Okay, so lovely picture of a bird by Rudra Chaudhary. Okay, so okay, this is using a 7300. So whenever you're shooting birds, you should know a little bit about bird habits and a little bit about their habitat, and that will help you to become a little better bird photographer. Okay, so this is a little too tight crop, and you see, because the subject came too close, you see the subject is little out of focus. So with every lens there is a minimum autofocusing distance, so you should be aware of the minimum autofocusing distance. For example, if I have my hand this close to my eyes, I cannot read this, so maybe this is a good distance for me to read on for the eyes to focus. So similarly, just be aware of the minimum autofocusing distance of your lens, so you should be aware of it. Okay, little too tight, Dhaval. See, you have not been able to cover the whole monument, so I would shoot little wider in this case. Here you see this is a silhouette, and because of an aperture of something like 22, you see you get a starburst. So this is one very nice trick. So if you are going beyond f18, you will get this very nice starburst. So well done. So you can do this with any lens. So here you can see a kit lens has been used, and you got something like this. So you don't really need a generally a blade with an app a lens with an aperture of odd number of blades is preferred to get that starburst, but you can pretty much do it with the kit lens as well. Well, a very ordinary picture of okay, so I like this. With this may be taken in a museum and one person standing behind, so nothing very great about this picture, I would say. Okay, so some parakeets, but need some editing. You see some, there are some blown out highlights in the picture, so you have to correct the, so editing is a very important part, and I keep telling this all the time, so you have to remember to edit your pictures better. This to me is a very ordinary picture. There is nothing special about this picture. So whenever you are taking pictures, just make sure you are framing it properly. So here the light was very bad, so but probably this is not a professional shoot, so you just want to take a casual shot, but even then you have to be little careful, at least about framing. So you don't have to create a awesome light for the picture. If you can, it's really good, but otherwise just try to frame it better. You will get a much better picture. A very low resolution picture. This 320 into 187 has been sent very casually to me. I am not able to see the picture. So next time when you're sending, please send in at least 1000 pixels. Otherwise, I can guess the framing is quite good. Okay, again, similar picture where here the face is not visible. So I would definitely love to have the picture with this with the face visible. This is a nice picture where you can see the face of the. It's a nice picture where you can see there's something here and then some other thing here, and but then you see this. I guess this has been blurred out in post processing. So I would rather do do it right in the camera and avoid doing it in post processing. And here probably I would like to have this also in focus. Maybe I'll darken it a little bit, but I would not blur it like this in post processing. So it looks very artificial to me. But again, everything depends on your client. So if you have shot this for a client and your client is happy, then it's absolutely okay. But otherwise, to my personal taste, I would not blur out things like this in post processing. Okay, nice picture of this place with the person here. So the person is adding a perspective. So because of the person, you are able to understand how huge the whole structure is. So whenever you're shooting things out of proportions, you need something to give your viewers an idea about how big or how small things are. And this this person here is doing a great job. Very nice colors by Rudra. Beautiful. Very nice picture. This will also make a very nice black and white, by the way, very essentially. But yeah, of course, in color it looks very good. So there are some of the pictures where they look good in color and they look good in black and white as well. Okay, very nice picture by Dhawal again. You can see place where they are selling some lassi or yogurt or something, and it's a storytelling picture of food. So you see on one hand, one part of the picture you can see the person who is giving it, and on the other you can see the person who is taking it, the hands of the person who is taking it. So a nice picture, I would say. Okay, fashion shot by Rudra Chaudhary. So this pose is a very typical pose which I really like, but you see you have cut the edge of the elbow. So next time try to have the elbow also there. You don't cut. That's not a very good position to cut. So if you want, I can share a link. So what are the do's and don'ts when you're shooting a portrait? So that will be very helpful for you. Okay, so a very typical picture of the Hawa Mahal, but could have been much better if you shoot in the blue hour or from a little better angle. There's a restaurant, coffee shop right in front on the third or fourth floor. If you go there, you get a very good view of this place, and using a wide angle, it will make a really good picture. Then a very low resolution picture. Okay, so picture by Neelida, and here again, you see the resolution is very less, and I'm not able to see the EXIF information. So guys, whenever you're sending pictures, just make sure you have the EXIF information so I can tell you a little bit more about what settings would have been the right. So, but here I I like this little unusual angle where you're shooting from the top. Generally, I would shoot kids by sitting down, being at the eye level, but sometimes once in a while you can just try something like this where you're shooting from high above and you get a different perspective. Okay, so very low resolution picture and not very carefully framed, so you can frame this picture in much better way, you see. Okay, so the other statues are cut. So here I would rather be right in front of the statue and then take it rather than from a corner. And you can raise your hand. So as you raise your hands, you see that the perspective changes. Yes, picture by Suryakanta Sahu. So nice picture with a blurred background, f5 and 135 millimeter. But maybe you can do little better edit to this picture, and okay, maybe get a. I would rather do a little better environmental portrait where I can show what the environment in which the person is and what he is doing rather than just the face. So it does not tell me any story, it's just the face of a person. But overall, nice picture. Okay, this beautiful. These doors here are very colorful, and if you have a subject there, it makes it look even more interesting. Now this looks like a very pose shot where this lady is looking into the camera. I would also take one picture where the lady is probably looking towards the door or appreciating this thing. So that will make it more usable in terms of a travel picture. This is more like a pose picture taken for the person. Okay, so a different perspective of a lake with the mesh, little different, but yeah, I would rather traditionally I would take a picture of the. I mean, this might be my second picture, but my first picture would be without the mesh. So if you already have it and you want to do something different, then this is definitely something which I would like to do. Okay, so here black and white really works well, and you see there's one person on cycle right in the place where it should be, and there's one small uh, house-like thing, so that again adds a value. So a perfect framing, I should say. The only thing is, so it's using 7300 lens at 1 by 60th of a second. So you see everything is blurred out, little bit blurred out except the person. So very nice way of selective focusing on the subject. So well done, Rudra. Nice picture by Kudendra. So you see the subject, the Ganpati is blurred out, so it's been done following the rule of thirds, and so they has been taken with an iPhone, but I still like this picture very much. So you don't really need a great camera to do a good composition. You can just shoot with any camera and it should be good. Okay, so here you see I can't see the bird's face. I think probably it's turned the other side. So you have to, or maybe this part is very dark, so you have to do a little bit of post processing. So it's a bulbul. So here a, a dance shot, but you see this part is so distracting here, Pawan and company. So instinctively, if you can read the language, your eye would definitely go there and would try to read it. So you see somebody has written on the t-shirt, don't read what I have written. So and obviously your eyes will go there. So try to avoid any kind of text unless and until it is there for a reason. So yeah, try to avoid things like this. But otherwise, nice moment captured. I would rather crop this image. So I would I would just crop this image here like this, and you see the moment I crop it, it starts. Now this looks so much better than the previous image. Do you agree with me? Okay, go to the next image. Blurry. Now here this image blurry is not acceptable. So you have shot in your house, and 1 by 30th of a second is anyways you can handhold and take the picture. Maybe your hands are a little shaky, and if your hands are shaky you can always use a tripod, or if you don't have a tripod you keep a stack of books and you can very easily take this picture. So and to improve this picture maybe you can have little better lighting. So if you're shot in very low ambient light, so you can have maybe a little bit of light here or shoot next to the window and you'll get a much better picture in this situation. A little overexposed and can be straightened, so it's not straight. And yeah, a little bit of clutter you can see. Maybe I would like to avoid the clutter as I'm taking this picture. And there's a lot of blank space, so definitely the framing could have been better in this case. This is a very nice picture, a lovely picture. You see three people here, one subject like this, there's one here, and very nice moment. You see the reflection of the golden sun here. So beautiful picture, but again, Rupesh, I would say the same thing, the framing and the white frame that you have added and the watermark that you have added. I don't like things like this, and maybe it's a personal taste, but it is distraction for the user. I think so. I would suggest you to avoid these kind of watermarks. You will see all the great masters they never use watermarks, so you have to think about it. Okay, so there is a picture of some monument, and you can see it is little under exposed. So those, yeah, so the light is very less here, and I will try to bring out a little bit of the shadows here so that I'm able to see a little more. So bit better editing is required. The framing is kind of okay, very typical shot. Okay, so uh, well, again shot with an iPhone, but nicely framed here, quite carefully framed, and the whole thing is in focus. But yeah, these are very typical shots when you go to a place. But I would rather take this picture in a in a in the best time, which is a blue hour. So you'll get a very nice picture if you take the same shot in the blue hour. So yeah, this is a blue hour. So I was talking about the blue hour. So again, taken by Rupesh, and you see the and blue and yellow are opposite side of the color wheel. So they make very good pictures. And generally the buildings are illuminated in yellow, and it is blue in the background. The blue sky, it gives a very different feeling. So I love taking pictures in the blue hour, and I would highly recommend that you try that. There are a lot of apps which where you can understand what time the blue hour happens. So you go a little ahead of time and be ready for the blue hour to happen, and you can get pictures like this. A very long exposure. But here you see, I would have definitely would have loved to have this picture a little wider. You see everything is cut, so I'm not able to see the source of the water. But I'm not sure if this could be done. So it's very easy for me to say these things. But yeah, if you can shoot a little wider, it will be really good. Okay, so Dhawal Shah has taken this picture, and you see this. Looks like he's posing. I would rather take this picture when he's actually working. And then looks like there's a group of people shooting the same person, so the person is looking at somebody else. So when I'm taking a picture in a group and there's one person posing, I would have an understanding with the other photographers that okay, maybe you can finish your picture first, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to take my picture so that the person looks directly into my camera. Or otherwise, ideally, I would do this picture where a candid picture when the person is actually working. And if the person is not comfortable and getting little conscious, you just tell him I'm done with my picture, and then he will start doing what he is doing, and then that's when you will get a better picture. Beautiful light. So this is shot against the light. So generally shooting against the light is not a very good idea, but here you can see how the leaf is really shining because of shooting against the light. So I love to take pictures like this, and you can see how the veins and the arteries of the leaf is really showing up so well and adding so much of life to the picture. So light is something which you should always understand and appreciate while taking your pictures. So again, a very low resolution picture. Okay, so you see these umbrellas. So whenever you're going to places like this, you can have an umbrella, and definitely it'll add another level of interestingness to your picture. And you see, it's a very nice feeling, very storytelling picture. There's a road, nobody else except this couple, and they're walking. So makes an interesting picture. Okay, there's a flower with a flower in the center. Not so interesting. Okay, so yeah, painted stock flying. So this has been shot with a 55 to 50 millimeter, and has been shot at 1 by 8 hundredth of a second. And well, I can say not a great picture, but yeah, not bad. And I would rather crop this image a little bit to have the painted stock at this part. Okay, so with a lot of space, lot of more space in the direction which is flying. It's a little over processed picture here. Okay, you can see the halo. So you have to be a little careful about how much are you processing. So you see the sky looks little too blue, and there's a halo here. So nobody appreciates too much of sugar in tea. So you have to remember that thing. So this picture, to me, it looks little overdone. The sky is little overdone. So don't be too emotional when you are doing pictures. Just, and if you're not sure, you can ask somebody else next to you, and then ask them how the picture is looking like. Okay, so group of flamingos, and but this pole is little distracting. So maybe I'm not sure if it was possible to avoid the pole, but yeah, I would rather. I mean, if you think you cannot do anything about it, maybe you can take out in post processing. Okay, a panning of a metro, very interesting shot. Okay, so you see, this is how you can make your pictures look different. So it's very unusual to see a shot like this. I've not seen many pictures, though I've seen a lot of pictures of the metro. This is something unusual. So nice shot, Abhishek. Okay, very nice storytelling picture where you see the subject is sitting here in the forest in the middle of this road. Very nice picture. It's a very nice feeling, but yeah, the text is little distracting to me. So if you have it for a purpose, it's okay. But yeah, otherwise, I would remove this text that is shown here. Also, your watermark. Okay, so try to reduce the opacity before you show it to people. Beautiful picture. Very nice picture, but not in the best of light. But yeah, definitely a good picture. And I know how difficult it is to capture these creatures, so I appreciate it a lot. Again, a very nice picture of a bird. I don't really know the name of the bird, but you see there is something lying here which is little distracting to me, and also the tail is cut. So next time, please make sure that you have the bird fully in frame, and yeah, try to avoid things like this. And if you cannot, then maybe you have to remove it in post processing. Okay, I'm going to do the final bit for today. So I'm going to take maybe about 10 minutes to do as many pictures as possible in this stretch. So here we have a picture where a very nice portrait of these two young ladies with this background which is in color. So this looks like taken in some handloom place, so looks very interesting. And exam information is not visible, so I'm not able to comment, but I can see their hands are kind of blurred out, so looks like it has been taken in a little slow shutter speed or something. Okay, so we already talked about this picture. Okay, so the framing could have been definitely better in this picture. You see there is a lot of unnecessary. So there was a photographer called Robert Capa, and Robert used to say that if you're not good enough, you're not close enough. So here you have to get closer. There's a lot of unnecessary space. And remember, Robert Capa was a war photographer, and he saying it like that. So I'm just going to just crop it like this, and you see the picture starts looking so much better. So this kind of cropping is required here, and I generally don't crop my pictures a lot unless I'm doing wildlife or bird photography. So you have to get the right composition in the camera itself. So you have to remember to do this. So again, the same situation, I have to crop this image again. So I'm going to, and I'm doing a horizontal crop again, and you see this is a beautiful light, very beautiful moment captured. But yeah, it could have been yeah, so just a crop and it makes it look so good. And this was again taken with a mobile phone camera. So you see people with mobile phones can take such great pictures. Very nice, beautiful light, and see how he's lying there lazily. And maybe I'll just darken. So to make it look little better, I would just darken this part. You can use a brush tool or some other tool. So I'm just quickly going to use this tool and darken this part. You see, as I darken this, it starts looking so much better. Okay, very nice. Okay, just the building and the silhouette of the buildings with the sky. So this is good sky, but it can be much better. So if you just see if you can get a much better sky than this. If you belong to the place or go there very frequently, maybe you can try taking another picture sometime. Okay, so two camels, and the other camel is not visible. You see, the as far as possible you have to avoid overlap. So now sometimes when camels, you see, they touch their mouth together, fondling each other, so that is a good time to take this picture. I would rather take it at that time. This is a lovely portrait, so by Dhawal Pandey, and a lovely portrait. And you see the light is so beautiful here. It just needs a little bit more exposure and a little bit more contrast, and maybe a little bit more colors. So here the colors are really adding a lot of value to the picture. Beautiful portrait, and yeah, I think this is one of the best pictures I've gone through today. So lovely portrait, and it's all because of the light and the colors and the composition. Beautiful. Okay, so here you see, I love this feel of the road, but you see here this water tank. Okay, maybe I would shoot in a way where I can see that whole road. That will probably make it look much better. Okay, so even this is a nice picture, but you see the background is a little distracting here. I would, yeah, I like to shoot with the background, but maybe something more interesting. So I would shoot it from little low angle where I can see a lot of the sky and a lot of other things in the background, so which will make it look a little more better. All right, logo or watermark right in the middle. So I am not going to comment on this picture because you see this is not the purpose of taking a picture. If you are really very worried that somebody is stealing your picture and you are such a great photographer, then you should never share your pictures online. Just keep it in your hard drive and sleep happily. Okay, so Yeah, so I hate watermarks like this right in the middle of the screen. My camera story. Okay, so this is a nice picture, but again probably taken with a mobile phone. You see the focal length kind of tells me this part. This is the problem with the mobile phone. You see this part is so washed out. Okay, so if you have a camera, then probably this part will also be in focus. The hands are cut here. I'm again going to share, as I was telling you before, I'm going to share that document which will give you some ideas on the do's and don'ts of where to crop. Okay, so here just the road and lovely. Maybe I would just like to have one subject here, maybe a car going. That will make a nice picture. Again, by my camera story with the watermark right in the center. Okay, so again one a nice picture of the woods, and taken at a time where you see a very good play of light and shadows, and beautiful light here. Nice picture. Okay, so I have to revert this picture. It's a nice picture taken with the mobile phone. So yeah, for people who don't have a camera, then you don't have a choice but to shoot with a mobile phone. But if you have a camera and then you are shooting with a mobile phone, that's not a good idea. Okay, so but yeah, there are a lot of people who don't have a camera, and that's the reason they shoot with a mobile phone. It is absolutely okay to do that. Again, picture by Rupesh. Rupesh, again, I'm going to tell you the same thing. So avoid any kind of fray like this. So for an exhibition, it is good. Also the watermark. Okay, but otherwise a nice picture. You have framed it quite well. This is a lovely picture by Nitin, and you see the fog and everything, and the people looking that side. Okay, so or the biker is looking this side. The face is not visible. So, but I would also like to take a. So this is for the person you are taking the picture. You should also take a picture where the biker is looking that side. So, enjoying or appreciating. That will make a very storytelling picture, I would say. So maybe you can also try a picture like that. That will make it look more interesting. Okay, a scooter, old scooter with a heritage building and a tree. So makes an interesting picture. This is by Kiran Kumar Sunamuke. Nice, quite nice. Okay, so it's very complemented. Both the subjects are complementing each other very well. Okay, this is a toy you can make out. Okay, so very nice, and with the reflection, it looks even more better. Okay, a bird and caught in action. So this picture is definitely better compared to a picture where the bird is just sitting doing nothing. Definitely more interesting. Oh, this is lovely. So see again, caught in action, the bee. So here maybe here the shutter speed is 1 by 400, and maybe next time when you try, you can try a little faster shutter speed of 1 by 1000, so you'll be able to freeze the action. But I still like this picture a lot. Very nicely done. This was taken with a 55 250 DSLR. Very nice. Okay, so yeah, dance. You see, a lot of times you can't avoid things like this, and you see how the dancer is good. The position maybe could have been better, but what I don't like about this picture is the banner in the background. So this is something if you can avoid, that will be good. So whenever you see this banner is only till this much, and I'm sure the dancer will move a little bit on the right hand side or a little bit on the left hand side where you will not see the banner in the background. And that's the best time for taking this picture. That's what I do when I take a picture like this. So banners are unavoidable, but if you are aware of it, these are the places where there is no banner, and that's the place where you will get a better picture. Okay, some birds. Okay, so there is probably some munia, and against the light you see the sky is totally washed out. Okay, very nice. Again, the watermark is very distracting here. Okay, but yeah, nice moment captured. Uh, you see a lot of this distorts the building looks like leaning backwards because of the lens that you have used. You are very close to the building, so maybe you can move back and take the picture so that you can straighten it later in post processing. So Lightroom has a very a tool called transform. You just click on auto and it will straighten the picture. Here also it can do it, but you see we will lose a lot of the area. So if you crop it, it will yeah, so we will lose some area. It will not do a very good job. Okay, so here okay, so could have been framed much better, but I don't know, maybe the photographer didn't have time. But you see nice moment, but there's a lot of distraction in the background. That's why I probably don't like this picture a lot. Okay, this is nice, no distraction. here in things like this, maybe you can darken the this part, the place around, so that your attention goes right on to your subject. Maybe I'll just do it like this. So see, I am going to just reduce the exposure by a tiny bit, so your attention goes right to the person. I'm just doing a very basic post processing just to show you how you can guide your viewers' attention to some parts of the frame. Okay, so just the nothing really very interesting, but okay. Here our main subject is out of focus. He is smiling. There's a lot of distraction. So you have to look for better framing. So Deen Dayal. So we are taken with the 1855 lens. Okay, so I like the body language of this guy. You see, the though he is sitting on the road, he is sitting like a king. So you see, his hand is like this, so makes it look very interesting, as if this guy is the master of this guy's destiny. Okay, so very interesting. Though he is sitting on the road, and whenever you're doing like this, you see you have cut the face of the guy right in the center. So either you can have it or you don't have it. Okay, don't have it like this. Okay, so this is quite interesting, very nicely processed. This is by Kirendra Garia. Very nice picture. I mean, nicely processed, nicely framed with something happening. See, there's so many people looking that side. So this makes me really think about what is going on. What is that? These people. Where are the people looking at? So, little thought provoking storytelling picture. Okay, a person. So I don't know why somebody would send me a picture like this. So the this looks like this has been taken specifically for this person, so I would like it only with the for, or maybe a person walking here, so you already have a few people walking there, that would have made the picture. So if you are, these are more, for the subject, you are taking a picture for their happiness, which is good. Okay, this is a very nice picture. I like this blown out background. So sometimes you see we really like this blown out backgrounds, some beautiful light falling here, and you can see nothing in the background, and but I'm not able to see the exact information. So I would, but yeah, otherwise it's a very nice picture taken probably with a 50 millimeter lens or even an 1855 at the highest focal length. You can still get a picture like this. Okay, a very ordinary shot of the Qutub Shahi tones would have been much better if you go at a different time of the day, or where you have some beautiful light coming in. Okay, so yeah, this is a nice picture, and again, if I increase some shadows, you will be able to see some details showing up. And here is a good place to use the dehaze, where you can see how the clouds are showing up so nicely. Okay, so maybe not this much, there is too much, but maybe to this extent, so that some clouds are visible. You can see a before and after how different it looks. So guys, again I am saying, you should know how to post process your pictures. You can use any software which you like to, but you must know how to do that. And Lightroom is one of the really good softwares for post processing. You might like to start using Lightroom, or any other software which you think is comfortable. There's no problem at all. Okay, so I'm not really able to understand what is the purpose of this picture. So here you see the fruits are being sold and everything is blurred out except this part. So yeah, not sure why this picture was taken. So a nice place. You see in this whole environment, there are these two people sitting here. So these people are adding so much of value to the picture. Without that, you see, you can't ignore people. So if they are there, your attention will go there, and it adds a different level of interestingness to the picture. So you must, whenever you are shooting, whenever I shoot landscapes or architectures or anything, so I try to include people in some part of my picture, so that it makes it look more interesting. So I'm going to end the session here. So I hope you found this helpful. And today we did how many pictures? So we did quite a lot of pictures today, and we are going to do this on a regular basis. So keep a watch on what we are doing. And okay, so we started from here today. I did 91 pictures today, and I'm going to continue this. So just keep a watch, and eventually your pictures will come up. And if you want to submit more pictures, you can do that using the same link, and I will get back to you. Okay, thank you very much.